Is there a moat around the field of employment law that stops regular lawyers from entering? I'm Tran. I'm an employment lawyer here in Houston, Texas, and I practice all over the state and all over the country. And I'm going to speak to you about this topic from personal experience and from talking to other employment lawyers and general practitioner over the years. Okay, but I'm going to talk to you only about Texas and Louisiana. And the reason why is that we kind of fall within a subset, a jurisdiction called the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal. And for some reason, it also happens to be two red states. So I'll talk to you about that. First of all, number one is the high learning curve, meaning there's a lot of federal and state statute that employment lawyers have to be familiar with, and regular practitioners just don't know. Like you can't take a family lawyer or a personal injury lawyer and dabble in employment law. Why? Because you're going to miss out on a bunch of things when you issue spot. So you don't know what you don't know. And so employment lawyers like myself and my friends that work in this field, both sides of the docket, we have to go to continuing legal education and consume this information on a weekly, daily, and annual basis with different classes that we have to go to and also different legal publications that we read. And I know I'm not the only one that has an alert every time an appellate court ruling comes down in my area of specialty. I focus and read it. So I take the time. So just a high rep, being able to read case law over and over every day, every week, and not be bored, feeling excited about it, having friends to talk and discuss those rulings with is so essential to the practice of employment law. And I feel sorry for people that don't have that. So a general practitioner or personal injury lawyer will not have that experience. They're just blinded to the fact that there are rulings going down where the courts have interpreted federal and state wage and hour laws or employment law, and they just don't know what the latest ruling is because it could change the effect of the course of a lawsuit. In addition to the high learning curve, there is also the advantage of having experience. So if you just read the law in theory, it's a great idea, and you may have a case that come in and you think it's a good case, but from legal application and experience, it may not be a good case. And so it's really hard for non-employment lawyers to dabble in it and be successful. They can invest too much time and money in something that doesn't pan out. And the reason why is that they've never done it before. Is that they don't know what is the proper allocation of time and money, and they don't know how to get it resolved and what is the best angle. So just having book knowledge of a law doesn't give you competency in employment law. So you got to know that. In addition to that, you also have to have a little bit of local knowledge of how judges have ruled in the past and what their tendencies are. So lawyers like me, we research our judges that we file lawsuits or we appear in front of, and we kind of figure out every ruling they've ever had. Imagine reading every ruling a judge has ever made on a particular type of motion or a lawsuit. So that gives you a really good depth of knowledge, and it gives you almost foresight on what's going to happen in a lawsuit. And so imagine the amount of time that has to be dedicated to learn that. And it's really hard for general practitioners to do it. Now it's not impossible. It can be done. But let me give you two more reasons on why there's not a lot of lawyers entering into employment law. Number one, the pay sucks compared to other more glamorous field of law. So if you're doing a high volume immigration practice, why would you dabble in employment law? If you're doing personal injury cases, you got a trucking accident case, or you just have a high volume of car accident cases, why would you want to spend time learning how to litigate an age discrimination or disability discrimination claim? It just doesn't make sense because You could spend more time handling those cases. And also lawyers that handle commercial litigation, they charge at an hourly rate that's higher than employment lawyers. I mean, you're talking about $900, $800 an hour. Why would they dabble in employment law where the hourly rate is traditionally lower? It shouldn't be, but it is lower than a commercial litigator or someone that's doing mergers and acquisitions. So the pay sucks compared to more glamorous field of law. But this leads me to my final and last reason why not a lot of people are entering into employment law. And that is, it's not fun for a lot of people, unless your heart is in it. We're talking about like social justice bent. You could be a conservative Republican voter who's a lawyer, but enjoys representing employee. That'll be great. If you enjoy representing employers, this would be great, but you gotta like it. No one does this unless they actually like the work. And so the work is interesting for people who are creative. They like innovation when it comes to application of the law and the facts. And you always have to finesse and get your point across in every lawsuit. A lot of people don't want to reinvent the wheel, but employment law is one of those things where you have to be really crafty and innovative with every lawsuit that you get. And a lot of people don't want to put the time into it because they don't like it. They don't like employment law. And so unless you like the historical facts and what it's trying to accomplish and what challenges people face when they are trying to establish their legal claims under each one of those statutes, then and if you're not interested in it, then that's why you don't want to spend time and live this area of law. And it's really interesting to me on the type of personalities that are attracted to employment law. It's so varied. Everyone has a different angle on different personality, but the one core thing that I think attracts people to employment law is that they are problem solvers. Like if you're working on the defense side or on the plaintiff side, you're trying to solve a problem. And so I think that's why a lot of people don't enter into employment law, because they just don't enjoy the process. They don't enjoy the law. And it's one of those things where you got to taste it. If you like it, you're going to stick to it. And people that don't enjoy the work, they're just not going to last. They're going to get burned out. And so those are the reasons why I think a lot of lawyers don't enter into employment law. Okay, back to work.